Alright. Welcome once again, I'm Steel Walrus, and you are awesome, and today we are going to take a detour from Bloodstained Stars to go and pick up a new ship, because we need something with a little bit more punch to move forward, and with a little bit more space to move forward. So we're going to Jeddah. Luckily we are back in our... Ooh, there's a thick boy. The Drake, one of my favorite ships. We're going to head to Jeddah, and we're going to pick up a new ship. I haven't quite decided if we're going to go missiles or guns. We're going to take a look at our skills real quick and kind of see what's going to fix us better. Personally, I am kind of training as if I'm going to be going into missiles. So that's kind of, you know, my thoughts there. So that's going to be a Corax. It's weird, we didn't used to have the Corax, and so when you were a destroyer pilot, you learned guns. And then you eventually said, wait, no, I could do missiles. And so you got into, like, cormorants and stuff like that.
Drive active.
In fact, my first cormorant, because I liked the cormorant design better, my first cormorant was a gun cormorant, which is just bad. You don't do that. It's silly because it's a missile boat, even back in the day, whereas the MOA was the hybrid turret thing, right? Like, you can get some weird builds going on there. But yeah, so anyhow, probably going to go with the Corax. Because the Corax is a really cool looking destroyer. As much as I love the Cormorant, and I really do love the Cormorant, I think it's one of my... gotta be one of my favorite designs in the game. It just makes more sense to go with the Corax because it is missile based, and if I want to go with a missile build, which is initially what I set myself up to do, you know, that's going to be... could be what I want. Alright, so honestly, it looks to me like I could probably go ahead and set these up. It's going to be about 13 hours. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I've got more skills set up for missiles, like permanently. Like I've still got that booster.
Warp drive active.
But really, what I should be doing is going into missiles because that's what I actually have the skills for. All right, and docking up at Jeddah 4-4. Now, guys, if you don't know this, Jeddah 4-4 is the premier place to buy stuff and to sell stuff, but mostly to buy stuff. Well, also mostly to sell stuff. Honestly, it is the place. It is. I don't know how it happened. I think originally when the game first started to develop, the best mission agents and stuff were there, and over time it just became the place to go. Anyhow, now it's become officially recognized as the hub, right? Like it's the place you go. Now I have a bunch of stuff here. Now I have a bunch more stuff here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the tungsten in my ship. We're going to stack all this up real quick. And, oh yeah, so I've got this cool thing from my my stuff. This is a noise, this is a signal. I don't remember what the difference is between noise and signal. Anyhow, let me come in here real quick. I'm gonna do my thing. Maybe it's under body modifications, I guess we'll see. Augmentations, body, yeah, there it is. Well, first of all, I gotta probably... Yeah, that's neat. Very cyberhonk. Much wow. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, and back to grab a hair color that I like. Yeah, I actually like that. Next. And there we go. Sure, it works. Now, like I had said before, we are kind of choosing between either a cormorant, which is a gunship, right? Now we could get a Navy cormorant. We can't really afford one currently, but that's an option in time. Or we could continue to focus down missiles, and I think that's best because we actually have the skills properly learned for missiles. So if we look at our gunnery here, the gun skills we have are in our roster, not because we actually have those skills, but because we're getting them from an expert system, which is not as useful. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull heavy missiles back up here because we don't need it as imminently as we do missile projection and the others. And that's the thing, with the missiles we actually have the skills. Okay, so we're going to go with that, and that means that we're going to go with the Corax, which is a pretty cool looking ship. You can see it here. Ain't it neat? Now we go into market details, and we can get one for 1.248 million. Let's go ahead and buy that. It's the least expensive we're going to get. We can go ahead and unpackage it here and assemble the ship. We'll give it a name and time, but for now, we're just going to bloop on over. We're going to leave the Merlin's fits and stuff in there because we may need it in the future. Let's go ahead and let's use beginner fits. Okay, so let's see about a Corax. What kind of fit do we have here? Missile launchers, pretty cool. Cool. So that's the thing. If you, I'm gonna X out of this. I'm gonna bounce out of that. I'm gonna show you guys how to get there. So if you go to the open channel window, go to player channels, beginner fits, you join it, and you'll see a bunch of these here. You can't really type in here. It's not really a conversation that happens in there. You can click on this, and you can save it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save this fit. And now, what we can do is we can actually go into our fittings. We can go to our browser, destroyer, Caldari. I've got a cormorant fit. And we can simulate this fit. Now if we want to, we can actually buy all of these things. So you can click buy all. It's gonna go through, it's gonna find all of these things. Now, in there somewhere, it has offered us to buy the Corax itself. We don't need that. So we're just going to, and that's one thing you want to make sure. You want to make sure you're not buying the ship if you already have the ship. So this looks pretty good. We've got light missile launchers. We got Scourge missiles. These are mostly focused on kinetic damage, and they do armor and shield damage, so that's good. So we're gonna look at these. Actually, we're not gonna buy the Scourge missiles. I'm just gonna buy everything else. There you go. And now we're going to exit the simulation, and we're going to I'm just being silly. We're gonna do this. That's fine. And there you go. You got your full stack of missiles. You got what is that? 7? Yep, 7 missile launchers. We don't have a spot for a salvager on here, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at missiles. Now we're doing primarily missions in Kaldari space. We want to look for ammunition and charges. We're going to go down here to missiles, light missiles, standard light missiles. Now we can read a little bit about what each one does. So this is going to be thermal, EM, explosive, and kinetic. And that's kind of what we're seeing backed up in the data here. Unlike ammunition, unlike hybrid charges, which actually have slightly different features. So for example, this is reduced optimal range. That's all there is to it. Or, you know, some sort of differently balanced stuff. You just get different focuses for damage. So we're going to go ahead and go with kinetic damage for now. We're going to view details, right click. Yeah, right click on that. We're going to buy. We'll take the fitting suggestion. Actually, we're going to double the fitting suggestion, maybe even triple it to 6,000, because that's not a whole lot. And now, go into our inventory, item hanger. You can just drag those. You don't even have to drag them onto the individual launcher. You can just drag them over to your ship. Now, that is going to take 85 cubic meters of space. We've got 450, so that's fine. Is there anything that we really want to bring with us? And anything that I need to inject? That's another good question. And the answer is no. Well, let's see if this is actually better than what we've got. We're going to do this. We're going to right click and we're going to shift click on show info. So this, it's a little bigger. It doesn't modify our signature radius, and the meta level's a little higher. So it is supposed to be somewhat superior to what we actually have. Let's go ahead and fit that on. These are... Okay, that's multi-spectrum. We want to stick with that. And we don't really want to touch any of the other stuff here. So... Oh, and are any of those skins for a Korax? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So, the last thing we want to grab, however, is a deployable object. It's called a mobile tractor unit. And that's going to be in structures. It's here. It costs 10 million, so maybe we can't afford it. Mess. Yeah, okay, so it'll be a while before we can grab one of those. Never mind. Anyhow, so we'll grab one of those eventually. Anyhow, I appreciate y'all sticking around. It's been kind of a quick little episode. I'm going to fly back out to where we start our next mission. And hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. If you have any questions or anything else you want to see about ship fitting, someday we'll get a little bit more into it. But yeah, anyhow, peace out.